Welcome back to another podcast episode of the Transfer Portal CFB presented by NoContextCFB. There do be things happening now in the college football world. The last thing that we could ever think to talk about tonight is the NFL draft because that's out of the way. 2023 drafts look like 362 days, Phil, so who cares? I mean, I care, but they don't. We got to talk about what's happening in college football. Jordan Addison, other athletes are getting offered millions upon millions, houses upon houses to go and transfer while they're still at the school they're at. It's crazy. Tampering it's out of control right now. And then Nebraska went out and did stoop to the lowest of lows. The cheating scandals at Nebraska are really pathetic, really just kind of showcase that whole program, how you could blatantly cheat like that, get such an advantage on your opponents. It's really gross. But hey, I'm joined today by Dave and Kensey. How are y'all doing?
Doing all right. Doing pretty well.
I'm okay. I'm still just okay.
Okay.
Yeah, just okay. You know, you could look forward to her rant on Nebraska and this whole cheating scandal later. If you're watching this on the old YouTubes, please like and subscribe. That would help us tremendously. And we're just going to get right into it with the whole Jordan Addison situation. Dave, I'll let you take it.
I mean, good for Jordan Addison, man. Like, he's going to accept it. He'd be crazy not to. It's $3 million in a house in LA. Get that bag, dude. Like, he's living the absolute dream. Like, I don't know if we have anybody that like knows baseball, but when Chris Bryant went to the Rockies and signed for like almost $200 million, everyone was like, why would he go to the Rockies? It's because he's getting the money. That's the end all be all. And Jordan Addison needs to get that money. He needs to live in LA. Get out of Pittsburgh. I've been to Pittsburgh. It's not nice. He's just let him go. Like Caleb Williams throwing the ball. He's gonna thrive in that Lincoln Riley offense. Keaton Slovis, it's Pittsburgh, man. What are you going to do? Win 9 games in the ACC championship and lose in the Orange Bowl? Like, he's got to go, and he's got to get that bag.
I just love because when this news broke, we were doing draft live stream, and my first reaction was, oh my goodness. Poor Jordan Addison had like 7 total balls thrown to him by Keaton Slovis this spring, and he was like, this is bad. I got to get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
But like you're speaking to the whole he'd be crazy not to take $3 million. I think it's really good on his behalf that he's just straight up aware of his money evaluation because he got offered in December to go to Kentucky and they lowballed him with $800K.
Yeah, dude. Like, and it's Lexington, Kentucky, or Los Angeles, California. Like, he's gonna have the absolute time of his life. And he's going to ball out, too.
Unless Kentucky's offer was like, you also get a spot on the basketball team and you just got to live with Coach Cal for a little, too. Like, maybe then I'd consider the offers, but...
Great treatment.
Yeah, like, for real. But, like, it's just so weird, the tampering that's happening. And it's not... I just to make this very clear, the players need to go out and take full advantage of this. They'd be kind of idiotic not to. Mm-hmm. They need to be making all the money that they could possibly make because this can't last. This can't sustain. This isn't what NIL was supposed to do. At Alabama a few weeks ago, A.G. Hall, there was a fallout there with Coach Saban. He leaves the team. He enters the portal. While he was still on the team, they were targeting Tyler Harrell, the speed demon receiver from Louisville. So while Harrell was on Louisville's roster and Hall was on Alabama's, they were still hitting up Harrell like, yo, this is going to happen. We're offering you so-and-so money, the blank check. Come use your speed to your advantage. See what it did for Jameson Williams and some of our other great receivers over the years and come to Alabama. Should that be happening? While he's still on Louisville, Addison getting offered hundreds of thousands by Kentucky, $3 million a mansion by SC while he's still in Pitt.
Yep.
Should that be happening?
Yeah, like that's where you kind of gotta try to find a line where the NIL is great for players, but these boosters and coaches are going to take humongous advantage of it as they already have.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's allowed now. So of course you should be like, go do it if you're allowed to do it. But like if he played in the Pitt spring game, he's a Pittsburgh Panther right now. You should have to enter the portal first, and then you can get the money thrown at you. I think that at least needs to be a rule. But the way it is now, you might as well take advantage of it.
Well, I do agree with that. However, then it kind of goes back to what it was almost in a way. Like, hey, under the table, I'm going to offer you $3 million in a mansion. Then he goes
Enter the portal. Yeah.
Enters the portal, and then it's publicly, hey, you get $3 million in a mansion. Well, he already knew that, and like, is that illegal information to know, like to be told? I mean, it's just spoken word, like it's like a verbal commitment, like you didn't sign anything.
Yeah, I mean, because
but then like that's the thing, like the NBA has tampering all the time. Sorry, go there.
No, you're right. It's like cheating has been in this sport, in college sports, in sports in general, in this way, and we'll speak to college sports and recruiting forever. Like as I've always told people, you're a Duke fan, you're cheating at Duke. You're a Kansas fan, you're cheating at Kansas. You're a North Carolina fan, you're cheating there too. But you're also cheating at Monmouth. You're also cheating at Texas Southern. You're also cheating at Detroit University. You're cheating everywhere, trying to figure out how to get an edge. It's the same thing in college football. If I was at like UNLV and we have 2 quarterback injuries go down the spring, what's stopping me from going to Penn State and saying, yo, Drew Allar's kind of been really good this spring. Let me see if I can get Sean Clifford for $5. Like, that's a fair evaluation too, right? So I don't know. It's just like what was happening was you would have just deals and agreements with all these programs where, say in Austin, Texas, and let's go with Tuscaloosa, getting cars for players. How that would be done is, all right, you're in Austin and this car dealership is going to buy a car and just ship it to Tuscaloosa. A player's going to get it for free on Alabama. Same thing, Tuscaloosa car dealership going to buy a car, sent to Austin. A Texas player's going to get it. That's how it was going. Now it's just straight up anarchy, I guess. Like, and I don't know, like Lincoln Riley is really very quickly going to turn himself into the kind of devil of the sport. Like very quickly, because here's what he said.
He already has.
Yeah, he really already has. I'm glad people are seeing this vision because I don't know. I've always kind of just thought he was completely fake while at Oklahoma and kind of a bit of a coward. That fella, honestly, for being a so-called offensive guru, stop kicking field goals from the 2. Go and hit our overs. Like, what are you doing? But he said, I think at some point we'll have to put in some guardrails, some ways to ensure this can happen when this can't happen so that players, staffs, all that are a little bit more on the same page. The guy didn't want tampering in the sport. And then he just went out there and was like, Jordan Addison,
when's the date? When is the date of that quote?
I don't know exactly. I know it's from...
You either die the hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Sure. Like he was complaining about... It might be from this. It might be from this. He was complaining at Oklahoma about in-conference transfers, and he would block off transfers. Like when Morris tried transferring to TCU, he was like, dude, this isn't cool.
Yeah.
Sure, you might be like a backup quarterback here, but you can't go to TCU. That's not right. I'm blocking this. You're stuck here, or you're going to a group of 5 school.
I forgot you had to release... approve a trade, like a transfer. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and not to like get into college basketball, but it just happened in college basketball. Terrence Shannon, Texas Tech, tried transferring to Michigan, got blocked off by his coaching staff at Texas Tech. He ends up going to Illinois.
Bizarre.
These old men, these boomers are not being very nice to these kids. And then
getting their feelings hurt.
And now
they complain when they leave.
Yeah, and now they're just taking advantage. And it's always been
Sorry,
go.
Is the NCAA the body to help with this? Because I don't think so.
No.
Is there an organizing body to regulate, to oversee? Like, is the NCAA when Emirates steps down, is it down with the NCAA? Like light it ablaze once he goes down?
It's like there's rumblings. I don't know how true it is, but a lot of blue bloods in basketball want to like come apart from the mid majors and like just want to pretty much blow up the entire like NCAA. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen, but there's so many people. Like you can't please everybody, and people just are gonna try to do their own thing. And I just hope it doesn't happen. It needs to get under control soon.
We're gonna have a Premier League super league
Yeah,
situation on our hands soon.
Literally on your podcast debuts, then we talk about that.
Probably.
Yeah, we should go back down that route.
Yeah.
That wasn't fun to think about. But what was fun to think about was future non-conference games in the year 2038.
No, we can't let you get started on that again.
Yeah, we can't. Like, it's just these kids deserve to go out and get their money and secured. It's kind of fitting. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but Justin Ross, one of the best players in the country, was on his way to being one of the faces of the sport, if he wasn't already. Has that spine injury, career goes downhill. He's in just an awful situation at Clemson. Felt really bad for him. Ends up going undrafted in the draft. And how much money did he lose out through NIL, through not being able to get drafted? Like that, these kids deserve to get that. There's like the possible, and this goes into boomers being mad that kids sit out bowl games too. Imagine Addison tore his ACL or something in the bowl game, right? And I don't know. Maybe this is a bad analogy, but
what happened to Matt Corral? Remember Matt Corral got hurt in the bowl game, and then he got what do you get? The Panthers took him in the third round, I think.
Yep.
Like if he doesn't get hurt in that game, I'm not saying he's a first round pick, but he probably goes higher than the third round. Like you just can't please everybody, and it's absolutely ridiculous. Like people just need to stop being mad and let these kids do what they want. It's their lives. Like just.
Wanting to mess with these kids' money is pathetic. It really is pathetic.
It's like who cares? They've been working their whole lives to try to get this money and
not all of them are going to make it.
Yeah, and it's pathetic what they're doing.
I see parallels with the Olympics and the amateur status of what was that, the 80s?
Mm-hmm.
People were mad that the Olympic athletes wanted this BS amateur tag off of them and actually make money. And now it's like, why wouldn't we send our best athletes to the Olympics? Like, I see some parallels there.
The thing I always think of too, and a lot of people think of, is how, like, Lincoln Riley, how many kids did he leave hanging at OU when he was just able to simply go and take another job? How many? And yeah, he takes kids there and he takes a lot of recruits there, but he I don't know, it's just lame. Like a coach could leave whenever they want. A player should be able to leave whenever they want. Like everyone hating on the transfer stuff too is out of whack. Like, yeah. Yes. Goodness. The good meme you made.
Yeah.
It's just so weird to think of that. Like, there's so many kids that just in college sports that didn't come up like raised the best, and they really are kind of their families help to make it big, supply them with good wealth for life, and really provide for their family. People wanting to hate on that is ridiculous. And I know it's not every kid, but some of them, and they're like, I don't know what else to say. It's kind of just really pathetic that people are upset that kids are getting paid. But then I also believe that the tampering is a little ridiculous, because if imagine if LSU was like mad that they lost down to Coldest Crawford. And then they're like, oh, wait, now we could offer you 2.3 mil to Coldest, and we could turn you into a star here and everything. And, like, well, he's Nebraska now. Like,
God forbid someone does what Nebraska does.
Oh, yeah, let's get into that.
Goodness me.
Yeah, that's a good transition. That was completely on accident. Let's get into the whole Nebraska thing.
The whole Nebraska thing, as if it is the Bill Self Adidas Arizona scandal of college basketball. Which, if you looked at the mentions on some of the articles, Big Ten fans would say it is similar, and it's not even close. Let's see. Let's outline what we got here. So we, I don't know about we, but as a Nebraska fan, we heard this, like we saw this last year. I think it was last year in the fall. I don't know. This was pretty recent. The Nebraska program got in trouble, one, for holding workouts during COVID, like unsanctioned workouts during COVID, and two, for having a special teams analyst coach, which boils down to this special teams analyst is not supposed to like coach, like give tactics, give advice, like work with players. I guess he's only supposed to like work with the coaching staff and be like, hey, you should do this, and not help the players with it at all. So I don't know how it was found out, but it was. And so Nebraska and Scott Frost got the iron fist from the NCAA, where Scott Frost is now under a show cause clause for a year. He also has a 5-day suspension of his own time choosing in the championship segment of the 2022 football season, which includes the regular season through bowl games. So Nebraska could choose to have Frost serve this like 5 consecutive days during a bye week, which I hope is what they do. Or
he also just take Christmas off.
Yeah, like if Nebraska doesn't make a bowl game, he could take. Well, he might be fired, and it won't matter.
He will be fired.
But he can take this 5 days any week he wants, which is kind of weird. He could take it the first week of, like, Nebraska's probably not going to make the Big Ten championship game. Like, if they do make a bowl game, he could take it during the Big Ten championship game week that they're not playing in. Like, anyways, that's one dumb rule suspension. Also, the coaching staff, this one's really weird. So let me read this correctly. A reduction of the number of football coaches by 1 for 2 days of practice during the spring 2022 season. So basically they tell the linebacker coach not to show up for 2 days, and that's part of their punishment.
Poor guy.
Yeah. And then along with Scott Frost's 5-day consecutive suspension, all non-coaching staff members, so the analysts that are not supposed to be coaching, will have to be removed from practice and competition for 5 consecutive days as well as a $10,000 fine, but that's nothing to University of Nebraska size.
Hey, it could be something. You could throw that 10K in the game, Jordan Addison.
Hey, he needs to follow his offensive coordinator somewhere, right? I am just in awe at how quickly this was handled by the NCAA, because the NCAA does nothing quickly. I'm shocked it's even a thing. Scott Frost is on the record saying he should have paid more attention to what his analysts were doing. I don't, like, in Scott's defense,
he's supposed to babysit them.
Yeah, like, if they're allowed on the sideline during a game, like, what constitutes as like giving advice? Like, say we muff a punt, because we muff a punt twice a game. and the special teams analyst like pats the returner on the shoulder and says like, pick your head up, like you'll catch the next one. Is that giving advice? Like that's
No, he actually told him use both hands next time. Don't try and catch the punt with no hands.
like what was the exact extent? Nobody will ever know. Like you just know there are analysts at Alabama doing the same thing. Like kind of goes like cheating is happening everywhere. Like I guess just don't get caught. But
it's all about the NCAA really picking and choosing who they want to go after.
Did they want to make an example of Nebraska, beat Nebraska while they're down? Is it? I just don't really understand why it's like so blown out of the water in proportion to like the level of violation. Because
like people are talking. They think Nebraska should get the death penalty for this, and I kind of agree. I don't know if Dave agrees.
Very similar to the Pony Express. I think
that's where my mind went to.
Absolutely heinous. I think that they should, death penalty. That's I agree.
I don't think anybody should have to witness a Nebraska football game. Aside, I think we get Nebraska, Northwestern, and Ireland, and then after that, we enforce a death penalty, and we don't get to watch Nebraska play football for 30 years.
Leave them in Ireland. Make them play rugby.
If you're Scott Frost, you have the game in Ireland. Take your 5 days there and spend an extra 5 days in Ireland because you don't have a game. You don't have a game week 1. So,
hang out for Guinness in Ireland.
I don't understand.
He wants to be surrounded by all those gingers.
Yeah.
Could be a frightening sight for Scott.
He is one.
That was the point.
Oh, I was like, bottom line is the penalties, like what the violation, just you got caught doing what probably every school does. I just don't understand the penalties. They're so stupid.
Insignificant.
They're so insignificant. Like, it's not making an example of Nebraska by any means. Like, it's just mind-boggling to me. Like, I don't.
It seems like one of those things where, like, I guess they broke some little rules, but like, so many teams break so many rules all the time, and you never hear about it until like years later. This didn't really need to be as publicized as it was.
That's the other thing too. Like, it went pretty viral.
It's very funny.
On Monday, when the NCAA announced the penalties for the violations, like,
well, I know
Nebraska. Like, why was it a big deal?
I know of some schools that have been able to keep, suspensions and stuff. Like a lot of schools have been able to keep reasoning for suspensions under the nobody really knows why stuff is happening, why these guys are getting suspended. If some of that stuff were to get out, like a penalty might have to happen for a school because there's some like crazy stuff out there that happens. But also, this is completely insignificant. I want to predict the next school that gets penalized in all Will's Cuban football. Look, I don't know. I kind of got to say, I'm trying to think of someone. Really trying to think. I can't think. Who could they go after next? I can't think. I actually can't think of.
I mean, it'd be a real shame if Ohio State did something bad and they got the death penalty. I'd hate that.
It would be such a shame if Ohio State covered up a wife beater, but
what a shame.
I was thinking of Middle Tennessee State to get the next.
I was just saying I wanted Ohio State to get the death penalty because I don't like them and they beat me all the time. It makes me sad. Middle Tennessee State or like Southern Miss getting the death penalty would be the funniest thing ever. Like nobody would really care. Remember when UAB didn't have a team and then they came back and made a bowl? That was cool.
Mm-hmm. That was very cool. Shout out UAB.
Blazers.
I don't know. There might be someone in here.
My drawing. My little drawing.
You gotta get it framed.
Yeah, why is that not framed?
Back there.
I'll put it like right up there, so you can always see him.
Yeah, you should do that.
But, yeah,
we need to do a drawing.
Bottom line, between these two themes of tonight, The NCAA sucks. They've always sucked.
They're
Down
always
to the NCAA.
awful.
I
Horrendous.
love the NCAA. I just don't like the people that run it.
Just so this AP article says videos of practice showed the analyst working directly with players during special team drills. He was also found to have assisted or made tactical decisions during games in 2020, which was a 6-game season because of COVID in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
So, and Nebraska special teams is probably bottom
Dreadful.
10
Like,
in all of NPS.
Like, it's kind of like the Packers of college special teams.
Oh, 100%. And as a Nebraska and a Green Bay fan, I
It's
know
not
I know
great.
pain. So
Yeah, it's not fun.
down with the NCAA, I could like it's so stupid.
They're not good at anything.
They're just
There's some.
they're mean old white men. Boo.
They're very
Yeah,
mean.
boo.
It's exactly what it's just like. Just let the kids play, man.
Let the kids
them
play.
care about this.
Let the kids get
Let them
paid.
play.
Let them play. Let them get paid.
Messed up.
Don't let them
Let
tamper
special
though. It's
teams
not cool.
analysts coach. Like oh
Let-
jeez.
You let the analyst coach. It's his dream.
Let the analyst give advice. That's his job.
So
That's in
dumb.
his
Like, part of
title.
the coaching staff. Why can't he coach? It's just so little nitpicky.
That's another thing. Like, so I was reading an article, and so Nebraska is now like the whole university is on probation for another year because of this, because the gymnastics team
Scummy school.
apparently the gymnastics team did something similar where they had like a volunteer coach, and the head coach like offered like tried to apply to get them paid. So like
Let the
How
extra
dare
coaches
he
get
do
paid.
that?
and
Yeah, how dare he try to get his employee paid?
why would there be a limit on coaches? Like I guess I could kind of see why you need a limit on coaches, but also at the same time, like try to be the best you can be. Like why are they trying to inhibit like the best performance possible? Like if we got this great special teams coach and he was able to make us better, that makes Nebraska a mid-table, mid-standings. I just used a soccer term. I'm sorry. A mid-standings in the Big Ten team. Like,
I don't
who
think he
does
built
that
special
hurt?
teams, but I see what you're saying.
why
Nobody.
limit?
Yeah,
Why-
it just I don't even understand. Like, it's really ridiculous, and they're gonna keep doing this to teams. They're like, oh, we're gonna drop the hammer on you, and then it's like,
The
so you're
hammer.
gonna suspend Scott Frost for five fake days.
The hammer is like a little Pike's hammer, whatever the squeaky ones are. The like
Yeah,
3-year-olds.
they're like,
use.
oh, we're gonna get you, and
They
then nothing
pound it,
happens.
it literally makes a squeaky sound.
Oh, and let it be known
Yeah, it's a little
that
squeaky.
the COVID workout. So this, what's the word? The penalties that they have to pay was negotiated with Nebraska. Like these were all negotiated out, which is probably why it's like 5 days of their choosing. Because it was negotiated out, Nebraska actually didn't get penalized for their COVID practices that they were in violation of. So like
We're talking about practice.
Wasn't that like 2 years ago? That was
Yeah,
two
so
seasons ago, right?
both of these
Why are they getting
occurred in the
punished
COVID
now?
season. Both of these occurred in the COVID season.
That's dumb.
And what
Just
blows
do
my
something
mind is that
else.
Nebraska and the NCAA negotiated out this penalty to an extent, whatever that extent is. But
I
I didn't
think
know you could negotiate your penalty either. Like,
I think Lincoln
Yeah,
Riley should
just-
get a penalty for being so mean to his former
Yeah, he's a
players at
jerk.
Oklahoma, being so mean to the wide receivers he brought in on SC that after a very good spring game that they showed, he's like, all right, you still need to upgrade. And then being mean to us, the fans who just want to go out there and watch some good college football. If Jordan Addison entered the transfer portal and there was no prior, like, hey, Jordan, it's 11:49 p.m. Pacific West Coast time. Hey, Jordan, you up? I got $3 million in the house for you. Yeah, like, come on. Figure it out, Lincoln. You're kind of a coward, and I'll always say it. But you're welcome on the podcast. Sorry.
Tomatoes at the NCAA. Boo this entity. Boo this man.
Yeah, boo this entity. Yes, exactly. Boo this non-profit. Boo.
Yeah.
Boo.
The transfer portal is displeased with the NCAA tonight, as we are most of the time.
And college football fans are displeased with me today. Because I was also an evil man today. Dude,
how dare you attack Wyoming?
I love that they went after me because I am such a big Mountain West guy.
Yeah, it was really funny.
While we're on the record, Nebraska Northwestern in Ireland will be a marquee matchup.
It's going to end 9-3, and my eyes are going to bleed.
And you're still going to watch it, which makes it a marquee.
We are going to watch it, but the best
I honestly
game.
Might not.
Yes, you will. I will. Yes, you will. The best game
in
week
game
0.
Of college football.
Yeah,
the best game in week 0. I don't care. The best game is the FCS showdown between Stephen F. Austin and Jacksonville State. That's the best game. Don't care.
Aren't they both transitioning to FBS? Is that true?
Stephen F. I know Jacksonville State is transitioning to the FBS. They'll be FCS. They'll be FBS 2023 with Coach Richard. I know Stephen F. Austin, I believe. I know that they are. I don't know if it becomes official till 2024. I pull up the Google machine one sec. I could also just be wrong. I believe that they were looking in that there was the idea of getting. I don't know. I'm just gonna stop talking because my brain can't remember.
Let's see, Stephen F. Austin. The Google machine will help us.
The Google machine. They're gonna have to edit this out.
I don't.
No, they'll keep this in. I don't know. I thought something was happening with. I guess I'm just.
Jacksonville State is, but not. I think they just left. They recently left conferences. They left the Southland and went to the WAC. That's what it was.
Yeah, I just thought that there was kind of a movement to try and get the WAC back to FBS. I thought there was kind of a uprising there, but
yeah, I think there is. It's good.
There's been so much conference realignment. It's kind of hard to keep up. Oh, poor incarnate word. Poor incarnate word in the post-Cam Ward era. That's gonna
Cam Ward, baby. Guy's gonna be a stud for the Cougs.
Tell him. He's plus 10,000 to win the Heisman, by the way.
It's worth a sprinkle, and he's gonna be the most electric guy on Pac-12 after dark. He's gonna be Khalil Tate freshman year, but he can actually throw.
The first name that came to my mind was the most
Khalil Tate.
A mythical creature. If you tell people in 5 years about Khalil Tate, they won't believe you.
Kevin Solomon should literally never ever be allowed to coach football ever again. What he did to Khalil Tate, he broke him.
I agree. I think that deserves a 13-day of his choosing period off.
Exactly. Yeah. Khalil Tate should get to fight him, I think.
Maybe we could set that up. Let's reach out to Coach Sumlin. Let's reach out to Khalil. Let's see if we can set up a Transfer Portal CFB boxing event. That could be the headliner. I'm sure we could figure some other stuff out too.
Yeah, they're doing all these celebrity fights. That should be one.
Yeah,
I think that'd be funny.
What about Lincoln Riley versus James Franklin, and the winner gets Addison?
I would root for Lincoln Riley. The winner gets to coach SC.
The winner gets to coach SC and get Addison. and I would be rooting for a complete tie. They both connect with a punch at the same time and fall down.
Yeah, like what is that, Rocky 2, and they both knock each other out and fall down at the same time.
Yes, I didn't know that.
That'd be awesome.
I didn't know that really happened. I didn't watch the Rockies.
I've been lost for the last 10 minutes. So
And now it's time to talk draft.
Those are you gotta watch.
I'm out.
Yeah. We're good though. We talked about the whole Jordan Addison and everything. Everyone who's listening to this literally knows what we talked about. I don't know why to recap. But yeah, that'll do it for us. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you're watching on the YouTubes. I don't know. It'd help us a lot. If you have any things you want us to discuss, any questions for us, let us know. Follow us on the Twitters here too, and we'll see you next time. Got some more cool ideas on the way. See ya. Goodbye.